Mark, thank you so much for being with me.
My pleasure.
I really want to start off with the company, the vision. Tell me a little bit about that.
Brilliant. Well, pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for making time. My name is Mark Seeger. I'm the founder and CEO of Glydways. We're a San Francisco-based company, and what we produce are mass transit systems. So we go to cities where you have endless traffic congestion, takes forever to get to where you want to go. We deploy battery electric autonomous vehicles on dedicated infrastructure controlled by AI to give you the private car convenience and experience, but train-like throughput and capacity at the same cost.
And you've obviously had an incredible, support, I would say, over the years, back to say 2023, when this was, I would argue, a startup venture. Bill Gates, I believe, was one of those people who was very on board, very supportive of what you were trying to achieve out of San Fran. Tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, look, like any major company trying to do a huge thing, it takes a village, as we say in English, right? It takes a lot of people to support. And that's the purpose of a startup company. You bring the people, the capital, and the industrial supporters together. And I'm so proud that over the 9 years that we've built this company from nothing to what it is today, 7 offices around the world, hundreds of staffs, systems deploying in cities around the world, that we have a fantastic cadre of investors, from individuals like you mentioned, to big companies too, ACS, Suzuki, Enios, Mitsui Corporation, and many others.
And there is, of course, a big push here in Abu Dhabi. We're sitting here in Abu Dhabi today, Abu Dhabi Autonomous Week, we're at DRIFTx, big display on today. Tell me, I know there's a plan for you to try to roll out your vision across multiple cities.
Yeah.
2 questions. Why Abu Dhabi in particular? And I suppose, what do you see here from the ambition that the government has with regard to, rolling out your business and seeing Abu Dhabi be part of that move to make Abu Dhabi autonomous?
That's a great question. And Abu Dhabi is a very, very special place. I'm going to take it to Glydways for a second and then relate it to the city, because I think the two are very, very similar. Glydways isn't just autonomous vehicles on roads. That would add to congestion. It wouldn't really help anybody. In fact, it would make roads worse for more people, except for the person in the autonomous vehicle that could probably take a nap, although you're spending $10 a ride or something like that. Glydways is a system approach. We take autonomous vehicles on controlled lanes to decongest roads, to give you a nonstop journey from point A to point B with very, very high throughput at a very low cost. It's a system approach solving a real problem. Abu Dhabi is the same way. They take a ecosystem approach to technology deployments like autonomous vehicles, or in our case, autonomous vehicles in mass transit. There are very few cities and countries around the world that take a cohesive approach, that say, not a technological approach of how do I get autonomous vehicles on the road as soon as possible, which you see around the world done with different levels of success. They say, what is the problem we're trying to solve? We need to provide better access to mobility for more people, and we need to decongest our streets. That is a problem they're trying to solve. And they're taking a whole of government approach to solving that. Very few places around the world attack problems that way. UAE is at the very tippy top of that. And that's why we're here. That's why we're so excited, because we're solving together problems around congestion, problems around better access to mobility from a all ecosystem approach. And that's exactly how we approach our problems as well.
And I suppose, it isn't just Abu Dhabi, as you say. You are looking at different places, like big, incredibly congested cities, such as, I think, Singapore. Tell me,
Manila,
exactly. Tell me a little bit about your vision. So you've obviously done the testing in San Francisco, right? You're now looking at 2026, is that right, to push everything?
Yeah, we're deploying 2 systems in 26, both on the East Coast of the United States. America's largest city, who shall remain nameless, but very clearly what I'm talking about, in Atlanta, Georgia. Those systems are launching next year, but we're also breaking ground on 3 additional systems next year in 26 and several more systems in 27. So we are launching around the world, and the vision actually started with solving congestion in big cities, right? And it turns out that there are thousands of cities on Earth that are big and congested, and only 204 have a train system. That's it. And that's because trains are unaffordable, high capex, they lose money with every single ride. So trains are not a scalable mobility solution for cities. And yet cities around the world need a scalable solution. That's the niche we wanted to fill, and we are filling that. And I say it's a niche, that's kind of tongue-in-cheek. It's really the only mobility solution for all cities around the world, and only Glydways has a fully disaggregated solution that costs 1/10 that of rail, but delivers a rail-like capacity solution. However, what we found is that other customers are open to us as well. We've had airports call us, private developments call us, shopping mall owners call us, theme park owners call us. So we're now doing everything from, in the industry vernacular, low capacity systems like campuses, medium capacity systems like urban environments, and mass transit systems like cities. One technology platform to do it all. And we're really excited about that.
And obviously, I suppose to maybe the average viewer who's watching the Business Breakfast this morning, I suppose a lot of people would be aware with Tesla as being the kind of name that we sort of know. You guys are really going beyond that. That it's not just, personal transport. This is like a wider scale operation that you're looking at being involved in.
We're mobility for the 100% of the people, not the 1%. It's as simple as that. We want to provide daily commuting access for people all around the world to get to a better job or to get to affordable housing or education or care or to see grandma down the street for no more than a bus or a train ticket would cost in that city. Reliable, safe, available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and congestion free. That's who we're after. We're for you. We're for your family, for my family, for everyone we know and love. Companies like the one you mentioned, they're more targeted for the upper end of the echelon, and that's fine. There's a fantastic opportunity there. But we are not solving a product problem. We are solving a system and equity problem. To put it simply, we believe that equity of opportunity comes through better access to mobility. And that's what we want to provide, is better access to mobility for everyone, for 100% of the people.
And I suppose just going back to Abu Dhabi and the government's vision here, they're looking at sustainability, they're looking at the environment heavily. In addition to this new advanced world, it's incredibly forward-looking, future-looking here. How vital is a partnership like that for companies such as yours?
It's extremely vital, not just for companies such as mine, but also for cities and governments around the world that are trying to ask themselves the question of, I have huge crises on my hands. Obviously, congestion and economic opportunity is the one that we're focused at, but I have crises on my hands. What is the right roadmap to solving that crisis? Just throwing technology at a problem doesn't solve it, right? And some of the names you've mentioned and other companies we could mention, they kind of make that point. Can you make an autonomous vehicle work in a congested city? Sure. But does it add to congestion? Yes. Does it solve the problem for me, the daily commuter? No, it probably makes it worse. So you need an all-of-government approach. And what Abu Dhabi is doing, and the UAE in general, is providing the roadmap for how you take real societal problems, infrastructure challenges, and not just apply technology, but apply a government and regulatory framework to scale it in parallel with technological development. It's really it's a blueprint for other countries to say, that's a great solution. How do I take that solution home into my city, my government, my backyard? And Abu Dhabi is providing the roadmap for how to do that beyond just throwing technology at a problem.
And finally, I won't keep you much longer, but please, how important is the likes of these events, specifically here in the UAE? They are really forward-looking. This isn't, just walking across the floor today, all the different exhibitors. I suppose, what is so vital about Abu Dhabi and the likes of DRIFTx and the Autonomous Week here? What does it do for your business, I suppose?
Any business at the end of the day is a human business. We are about solving human problems and providing human solutions to other humans. And events like this means we get to meet more people like yourself, like your listeners and your viewers, users, customers, regulators, governments. At the end of the day, I believe that relationships come first and contracts come last. And that you can't do over the phone. You can't do that over email. You have to do that in person, build trust. Why do you do what you do? How can I adapt my solution to your needs? That's a human experience. And we love human experiences because we're ultimately solving problems that are human for other humans. And it sounds maybe a little esoteric to say it that way, but it's really how, the values that we have in our company. And so events like this and organizations like this allow us to connect with more people, to learn, to help solve problems, and to collaborate. And ultimately, that's what we're here to do.
I do have one final question.
Please.
Tell me, let's say by the end of the decade, so 2030, what do you think society will look like with the rollout of these pods?
Roads will be less congested. More people will be moving on vehicles like ours behind you, where you get your own autonomous vehicle privately on demand with one stop from where you want to go to where you want to be, from where you are to where you want to go. for a very, very low cost. And what that does is it removes friction to movement of people, better connections, better commerce, better economy, better quality of life. And that's what we see. Roads will always be there and they need to be used. We just want them to be congestion free. And we want you to be able to go from grandma to affordable housing, to your job, to education, to school, wherever you need to be without any friction. And that's what we're trying to do. So that's the vision we see.
Mark Seeger, thank you very much for your time.
So,
Really
appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.